I mean, you've obviously got a lot of fans in here, but for anybody that doesn't know you, if you can introduce yourself. Obviously, this is Bishop Gunn. And yeah, if you just tell us who you are.
My name's Ben.
My name's Bun. How are y'all?
Travis McCready. That's Drew.
Drew.
My name is Drew. Drew Smithers. Y'all two share that one. We'll share this one.
Okay. Sharing is caring. Don't forget. So you boys, obviously, I know you. So there's lots of, I've seen you grow. I mean, in the time that I've known you, it's been incredible to watch you come up and put your music together. But for everybody, if you can just tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from and the music from where you are.
Well, yeah, we're us three here are from Natchez, Mississippi, and we've all kind of known each other just through the music scene, being a small town. And about 3 years ago, Travis and I got together and played a festival in Natchez called the Great Mississippi River Balloon Race. And it was kind of
it was supposed to be a one-day band, but we ended up taking it further and sticking with it. So, and I was a structural fitter and welder. It was about day, and I played music at night in different clubs or whatever, just regionally, because I always had to be back to work at 6 the next morning. So we started just like a little local band, and then we took the big step to bring it up here and just quit our jobs and all that good stuff.
Living the rock and roll life. Why not? And I think it's a lovely story how you guys met Drew as well. I mean, that's a real, the whole Americana triangle, how people meet and interact. If you can tell the story of how you guys met.
Drew?
Yeah.
Drew, we met him, he was playing outside of we were in the process of trying to rebuild Bishop Gunn we had lost some members, and we seen him playing outside this antique shop in like an instrumental band. He was just over there playing the guitar, and we really dug it, and we got his number, but we never made any contact or anything, and saw it. We were at a Carter's Vintage Guitar downtown where he works, and I'm like, Bern, isn't that guitar player we saw, We talked about it for a minute, and then we left, and I'm like, you know what, maybe we should go back and talk to him. It's kind of like trying to pick up a girl or something, I was like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna talk to him. So I walk up and I'm like, so do you gig much? Do you come here often? Do you gig much? And he's like, yeah. So we started off with just gonna hire him out, and then he just ended up joining full time.
Yeah, I just love that story. I think that's great.
I was in 10 different bands at that.
10 different bands? Oh, share your mic.
I was in 10 different bands at the time, and we ended up doing a lot of demos at their farmhouse out there, and it was like the perfect fit. Long Lost Brothers, and here we are playing Pilgrimage. So thank you all for coming.
Oh, that's nice. And I think that's nice because I love your story. I love how you you live together and you hang out together, and it's you have become like family. I mean, it's lovely.
Yeah, we're all enough. We live in this farmhouse. We're packed in there like sardines. It's just a lot of instruments and no cable.
Yeah, it's the best way.
So much hair in the shower too.
Oh. I don't even want to. I don't even think about that. Now, Bern, you've got your own studio, and that's obviously you've seen a lot of music. What would you say was your biggest influence, or all of you, growing up, the music that sort of has created your sound?
The biggest influence that we'd all share together. I mean, I know the three of us would probably be somewhere around Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And Drew brings in a lot more of the Allman Brothers kind of feel with his slide and everything. So.
I mean, and I really think that you managed to show that with your music. What I love about you is that you seem to have got that old-time sound and that old-time feel, but you seem to make it relevant. I mean, was that a conscious decision, or it just happened?
Yeah, we all love classic rock and Zeppelin and Allman Brothers, like we're talking about, but we also grew up in southern Mississippi around a lot of hip-hop and stuff like that. So it's kind of between Ben and I, we kind of think of ourselves as more of a hip-hop rhythm section over crazy rock and roll guitar and soul vocals. It's just a whole blend.
It's its own little blend. It's its own little blend of all of our influences, and some that we share and some that we only share when we play together, but it works.
Yeah. And you've had some great experience so far. I know that recently you went on a cruise with Kid Rock. How was that?
It was 5 nights on a cruise with Kid Rock. So.
Okay. I'll get to my next question then. So So what would you say are your hopes and dreams? I mean, what's the goal? Where do you see your band going? What would be the dream?
To be successful enough to be able to afford to keep getting our music out to people, get to the next place, and the next place we can share, you know, the way we feel about it with everybody, and vice versa.
Yeah. And what about, how was Muscle Shoals? Tell me about
Muscle
that.
Shoals, we did 5 nights at Muscle Shoals Sound.
They got a booth set up over there too.
You've probably seen the documentary and everything, and a couple of those guys over here, Jimmy Johnson and David Hood, they were up here earlier. And they kind of handed the studio off to us for a few days, and we actually did the ribbon cutting for the reopening of the studio. So we were the first band
That's incredible.
to record there in its new grand opening.
I love that. I love that you're now, you know, history is making and the stories of the past is now making the new stories of the future.
And we just tried to just soak up everything we could, all the authenticity. I mean, we right down to the recording style we did live tracks. I mean, no headphones, no metronome, just one take. And you know, and we had never done that before. We'd always just done a little more multi-tracking and whatnot. So we did the full live experience, and it surprised us all how well we did at it. But it was good.
Really well. So is that something that you'd like to do again? Go down there and record?
Of course.
Yeah. Is that your favourite place that you've recorded so far?
Definitely.
Yeah. And do you think it's true that there's just something in the air there?
Well, yeah.
It's the water.
You definitely feel some good vibes there. So.
Yeah.
And especially if you're pumped up about everything that's went on in there, naturally you're going to have a boost of creativity anyway. So.
You can't help it. What about your writing process? How does that work? Do you all write together, or do you get in a room? Or
I usually do lyrics and pretty much I'll build a song and for the structure, you know, and then everybody kind of throws their twist. Ben writes the bass lines, and Ben writes some of the songs as well. So everybody kind of has their own little part written, you know.
Yeah. So you're writing together. And where do you get your ideas for music? Is it something, you know, just your real experiences, things that you've been through? And
some of the stuff we write about, Natchez is full of history. It's a real rich culture there, and so there's a lot of stuff to draw from.
Tell me about some of that history. Tell me about that culture.
Well, it was the Native Americans, Natchez Indians, settled there first. I mean, and then this.
Put your mic closer.
There's a lot of antebellum homes in Natchez that were built before the Civil War, and then Natchez was pretty neutral during the Civil War, and so they managed to salvage a lot of that. And it's just kind of a melting pot of a bunch of different cultures. You're close to South Louisiana, you get that kind of.
It's 301 years old last month, so it's actually 2 years older than New Orleans. It's about 2 hours north of there as well. So
and then it's below the Delta, Mississippi Delta, so you get that kind of blues trickle down. And so it's really an interesting culture there. But we brought a lot of people with us. Who else from Natchez, Mississippi in here? We got a lot. We got a faithful following down there. That's a pretty good drive.
Thank y'all for coming.
And how do you find living? Because obviously you're in Nashville now, and how are you finding it? Is it different from where you're from, or are you enjoying the influences here? Is it changed your music living here?
The last year definitely. You'll hear it in the new album. I mean, it's a lot of touring songs. You know, like we just played one called Wheels.
Yeah.
As long as the wheels are rolling, you know, that one kind of embodies the whole touring aspect, and we've been through it the last year. And of course, Let the People Know was the song from the first EP that we wrote it right before we hit the road for the first time, and it was about getting your music out there and letting the people know, you know. So, but yeah, you'll hear it on the new album. A lot of from a performance aspect, there's songs that's kind of written to the crowd from the stage.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of talks about the whole relationship, you know, between the sharing of energy from the stage to the crowd to the stage. That pumps us up, we pump you up, kind of thing. So.
Oh, got
Thanks,
you some
Ed.
bit. Can't be bad.
Thanks, Ed.
So, with your fans, how's your relationship? I mean, what are your fans like? Tell me a little bit about them. Do you find that you get a lot of dedicated fans that are coming out to your shows?
Yeah.
Have we got a lot of fans in
Definitely.
here? Woo!
Definitely, and it's been growing, and it's this last summer it was surprising, you know, to see how many people would just come to consistent shows, and through social media and everything you get.
Yeah, we're real active on Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and all that, so if you follow us on there.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
a good
it's-
shout out, Ben.
Our
It's cool.
Snapchat gets kind of ridiculous, but we have a lot of fun though.
But it's technically, I mean, it's globally as far as social media goes. We'll have people just, they'll go to I'll get a friend request or they'll comment or something, and it's like, I'll go to their Facebook page, it's another language, I can't read their name. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's nice. It's nice that you're building that base. And just before we go, I just want to ask like one more question. Out of the build and you getting together, when was the first moment that you thought, wow, this is actually real life. This is really my job. I'm not playing at this anymore. Do you have that moment?
Consistently, probably. Yeah, every day. It's like, it's pretty much that. So.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kat.
I'm a bit annoyed you didn't play my favourite song, but I'll let you off.
Lonely One. I'll play Lonely One next time.
Okay, do it next time. All right, well, thanks, boys. Cheers. That's Bishop Gunn.
Hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow at 10:30 over here, the Harpeth River stage.